Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Indie Zone. My name is Kathy. 3 years and 4 months ago, in February of 2023, the state of Idaho filed a notice of Brady disclosure in Idaho versus Kohberger regarding one of the law enforcement officials that was involved in the investigation into Mr. Kohberger. There has been nothing placed onto the court docket as of today regarding what the outcome was of this important matter. The document in question, entitled Notice of Brady Disclosure and Request for Protective Order, reads as follows. Comes now the state of Idaho by and through the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney's Office and respectfully gives notice to court and counsel that the state has become aware of potential Brady Giglio material related to one of the officers in the above referenced case. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if I could interject comment here. Brady refers to a 1963 United States Supreme Court case. It stands for the proposition that it is a violation of due process where a prosecutor does not release favorable information, exculpatory evidence related to the crimes charged, potential penalty to the defendant. So here we see that the state was giving notice that it had become aware of potential Brady material related to one of the law enforcement officials not named involved in this case of Idaho versus Kohberger. This notice continues. That material, in the form of a confidential internal affairs investigation, is hereby submitted in camera to the court. In camera, ladies and gentlemen, means for the court's eyes only. In other words, don't look for this confidential investigation on the court docket because it was sent to the judge by the prosecutor. It continues. The state intends to disclose this information to defendant's counsel, but because this information is confidential and exempt from public disclosure, pursuant to Idaho Code Section 74106, and then in parentheses, the personnel records, the state respectfully prays for the issuance of a protective order pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 16, prohibiting defense counsel from disseminating the information contained in the internal affairs investigation, absent further order of the court. Respectfully submitted this 24th day of March 2023. Signed, William W. Thompson, Jr., Prosecuting Attorney. That protective order was granted, ladies and gentlemen, as we discussed in 2 prior podcast episodes, 53 and 54 of the Idaho versus Kohberger podcast, that addresses this notice and the protective order that was issued. The rhetorical question is asked in this case that is still so highly sealed from the public as of this date. Whatever happened? What was the outcome of this internal affairs investigation? Until next time, thank you for joining us here today.